Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. It's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
What's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJAY Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Hope you're having a good day so far, and I hope you had a good weekend. And to all of the mothers out there, the grandmothers, the women that are taking care of kids, may not be theirs, adopted mothers, dog mothers. Happy belated Mother's Day to you. I hope that you had a great weekend. Also want to give a special shout out to my mom, my beautiful mom, Miss Carolyn Jones Smith. Know she's going to be watching this, so I love you very much, Mom. And I also have some unfortunate news. My uncle, Mr. R.B. Williams, on last week passed away. He was dealing with some medical issues for the past few months, and he passed away. But he was surrounded by family and friends, and he will be missed. My uncle, RB, he really loved his family. He was really, embedded in his fate. So he will be missed. And I'm going to dedicate this show to my uncle, RB. But let's go ahead and get into it. I ask that you hit the like button. I ask that you hit the subscribe button. Shouts out to everybody that's listening right now, no matter where you are, whether you're at the gym, you're at work, you're in traffic, wherever you are. I really do appreciate it. It's very, very simple. All right. If you want to interact with the show, all right, if you want to be a part of the show, you don't have to give a whole bunch of money. We don't do paywalls around this thing. All right. You will be respected. All right. You will be respected and you will be admired. All right. All you have to do to be a part of this show, rather I'm doing it live or I'm doing it pre-recorded like I'm doing right now. And to prove that, see? But all in all, still, I would like for you to put those comments in the chat. Hey, what's going on? It's TJAY Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and we're about to do what it do, baby. You probably have something to say about the black and gold that's burning hard in your soul. Take those fingers, give them the working. Put them comments in the chat.
Put those comments, put them in the chat.
All you got to do is go ahead and put them things in the chat.
I want to hear what you got to say.
I want to hear from you.
Talk to me and not talk back.
Oh, you ain't got to worry about it. All you got to do is talk to me. I talk back to you now.
Put those comments, put them in the chat.
All you got to do is put them comments in the chat.
I want to hear what you got to say.
I want to hear from you.
Talk to me and not talk back.
Talk to me. I guarantee you, I'm going to talk right back to you.
Nice.
That's right. All you have to do is put the comments in the chat. That's all you got to do. And for those that are catching the show late, shouts out to them after show boys.
Shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out to them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys.
That's right. Shouts out to all of the after show boys, the ASBs and the ASGs that are out there. But let's go ahead and get into it. That's enough fun. That's enough fun. All right. Let's talk about the New Orleans Saints. On this edition, we're going to be talking about rookie minicamp. There are a lot of storylines coming out of this past weekend and what I think about that pickup. But let's get into it. Saints rookie minicamp took place over the weekend, and Saints fans were extremely excited about it. I knew I was excited about it. Saints Twitter was excited about it. Saints Facebook was excited about it. Everybody wanted to see what these rookies look like in a gold helmet and some shorts on. I mean, we'll take that, right? Because we know that the NFL draft is an exciting time. And no matter if we know that much about the individual that our favorite team drafts or not, when they put on the black and gold for the first time, it is an exciting time. And everybody was anticipating quarterback Spencer Rattler's first time hitting the field in the black and gold. And, he did not disappoint. They talked about some of the team drills. He was extremely accurate. Shouts out to my guy, Ross Jackson, said that he went about 11 of 12, 7 of 7. I mean, he was clicking on all cylinders. They had Dallin Holker he was throwing the ball to. You had Bub Means. It seemed like they had a connection. But Spencer Rattler, everybody was waiting to see this guy. And it is crazy. It is insane that Spencer Rattler is a 5th-round pick number 150. And people are looking to see him more than Taliese Fuaga, the offensive lineman out of Oregon State, the 1st-round pick number 14. But this tells you everything that you need to know about Saints fans and what they feel about the quarterback position. Now, this isn't going to be one of those shows where I'm bashing Derek Carr. As a matter of fact, this is one of those shows I'm actually going to sympathize with Derek Carr. Hold on, I know somebody spit out their water, spit out their coffee, like, hey, wait, what? Sympathizing with who? I want to make this very, very clear. And I also want to give this individual credit. Shouts out to John O'Barnes because he mentioned this on X and he put something on my mind. I think he said that the reason why Saints fans are so hard on Derek Carr is because we all had these thoughts and feelings of what he would be as the Saints quarterback. And the expectations for Derek Carr in year one were kind of high. Now, this isn't for everybody. Some people are like, man, TJ, not me. I ain't do that. I ain't say that. Shoot, I ain't never believe in the dude. I'm not talking about you, all right? But there is a large percentage of Saints fans that had these high, they had these high expectations. There we go. High expectations for Derek Carr. And when he didn't deliver in year one, people were ready to just kind of throw him away. And now you bring in Spencer Rattler. And look, I am the biggest Spencer Rattler fan. I really am. Everybody knows how I feel about him. If you've been rocking with the State of the Saints podcast, I did a video a couple of months back saying who I feel like would be there for the Saints to pick as their, the quarterback they can draft. And Spencer Rattler was one of those quarterbacks. And I was ranting and raving about him. So I'm excited that he's here. But I also want Saints fans to be very, very careful for doing the same thing that they have done to Derek Carr. And that is hype a guy up so much that if he does not deliver the first time you see him, rather it's preseason, he throws an interception or he overthrows a guy, and then all of a sudden, here come the trolls that have been coming out that just waiting for him to fail. I'm talking Spencer Rattler. Man, I told y'all that's the reason why he was picked in round 5. That's the reason why y'all shouldn't be excited about Spencer Rattler. Man, take that negative energy over somewhere else. It's one thing to actually see somebody play and have those reservations, but you got those Skip Bayless wannabes out there that never seen a guy take an NFL snap. All of a sudden, you just want to be ahead of the curve. Man, take that negative energy over there. All I'm saying is, whoa, Kemosabe, all right? I like that song. It shouts out to the big times. Whoa, Kemosabe, all right? Calm down, all right? Allow this man to go through the motions. Allow him to go through the process, because I'm saying, I know some people feel like he'll hit the ground running. Some people feel like he's already a better quarterback than Derek Carr. But all I'm saying, as of right now, if I had to choose between who would be the starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints at this particular time, And I could be wrong. Something could happen, and Spencer Rattler can get in the game, and the next thing you know, you got yourself a Dak Prescott, Tony Romo type situation. But as of right now, based on some of the things that I see and some of the things that was said, I would choose Derek Carr at this moment over Spencer Rattler. So I want Spencer Rattler to actually just kind of, ease his way into the process. But, Spencer Rattler spoke to the media a little bit about, being drafted by the New Orleans Saints and also his first time, hitting the field in the black and gold.
It's been awesome. It's been fun, getting out here, just installing plays, getting through them, learning a lot of stuff, just having a good time. I feel controlled. This is rookie minicamp, so it's just a little slither of the playbook, but, we've installed a lot, and it's been fun to learn a lot of new things and go out there and just be efficient.
So as you can see, he is coming in with a lunch pail mentality, and I think that is very, very positive, especially for some of those detractors out there that feel like Spencer Rattler, all of that stuff that was going on when he was in college, they still feel like he is that guy. But everybody that I talked to from South Carolina that covered the team, and shouts out to all of the beat writers that cover South Carolina football. Most of you already know I stay in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, which is like 2.5 hours away from Columbia. So I watched my fair share of Spencer Rattler at South Carolina, and I've seen him go through some hard times. That offensive line of South Carolina was not the best, and he was getting tattooed out there. But he always got up. He always encouraged the guys, and that is what you want to see. And you also want to see some maturity here. And this is a guy who has leadership qualities and also someone that understands that he has to be a student of the game at this particular point. No matter how much talent you have, no matter how much arm talent, your skill set, what have you, you still have to come in humble, hat in hand, but ready to work and also gain the respect of your teammates. So Spencer Rattler looks like he's doing just that, and I can't wait to see what he can actually do for the New Orleans Saints. Should be an interesting competition. I'm not throwing away Jake Haener. I still like Jake Haener. I think that he's a smart quarterback. I think that he's not going to take this line down. If you follow Jake Haener, you know that he's an extremely confident guy. So it's not going to be one of those situations where Spencer Rattler is just going to be handed the keys. Now, I know some people are probably saying, well, what about the other quarterback on the roster, Nathan Peterman? I don't look at Nathan Peterman as the backup, right? But I do look at Nathan Peterman as maybe someone that the Saints keep maybe on a practice squad, because I always say this. Everybody is not going to be a starting quarterback in the league. And heck, everybody is not going to be a really good quarterback in the league. That's just what it is. You have some guys that are going to come in and they're going to be career journeymen, career backups. But as we learned in years past, that sometimes those backup quarterbacks can turn into some really credible coaches. You look at Doug Peterson winning a Super Bowl championship with the Philadelphia Eagles back in the day. Jason Garrett kept his job with the Dallas Cowboys. They went to the playoffs a few times. So sometimes those mental reps that they get can pay dividends. And we've heard this all the time where a starting quarterback would say, I got to give credit to my backup. We heard Drew Brees talk about Chase Daniel in this regard all the time. And when Chase Daniel came back to the Saints for his second stint, we all know the relationship between he and Drew. We all know about those celebrations every time Drew throw a touchdown and they go to the sidelines. That goes to show you the camaraderie that Drew Brees had with Chase. So sometimes those backup quarterbacks, those seasoned veterans can see things and be able to network and talk to the starting quarterback. And Nathan Peterman and Derek Carr have a relationship stemming back to their time with the Raiders. So maybe Nathan Peterman will stay on a practice squad, but I'm looking at this as a competitive race between two young guys, and Jake Haener and Spencer Rattler. Should be very, very excited to see training camp and what these two young guys are going to do to try to ease up the depth chart. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about a person that deserves the respect. All of these guys deserve respect, by the way, but this player in particular, the first round pick of the New Orleans Saints this year, and that is Taliese Fuaga out of Oregon State, a big physical guy, a guy that's extremely confident. And, the Saints, They did not waste any time making this man head spin by switching him to a position or having him practice at a position that he is not used to playing. Now, Fuaga at Oregon State, he was a right tackle. He played right tackle and was really, really good at it. But the New Orleans Saints decided that they wanted him to come out and play left tackle. And Dennis Allen spoke to the media about the decision of trying Fuaga out at left tackle.
I think we want to take a look at him on the left side and see how he does over there. I think we're pretty confident that he can play right tackle. And so getting him some work over on the left side, I think, is important. And then we'll evaluate it as we go and see how he does. Starting off, we're going to work him primarily over on the left side, and then we'll evaluate it as it goes. I mean, we haven't made any decisions in terms of concrete decisions. But yet that's where we're going to start him right now. We wanted to get him a lot of work in this camp, see how he does in this camp, and then we'll reevaluate after this camp's over.
So the New Orleans Saints believe in Fuaga. They feel like he is athletic enough to play the left tackle position, try him out at the left tackle position. And, that's a testament to Fuaga and his ability. And I believe that he can play left tackle. I believe that he can, because everything that I've seen on tape tells me that he is going to hit the ground running. And he is a man that is very, very serious about playing the game of football. And he is not short of confidence. And Fuaga talked to the media a little bit about moving from the right tackle position where he played in college for the Saints, trying him out for the very first time as he steps on the field at left tackle.
It's definitely something that, just got to get used to again. I didn't play it too much in college, but, I try to work that over off season. So, just coming back, just getting back into pads and stuff, helmets, really. But just trying to get that feel back. Yeah, it's just, a little rusty over there on the left side. Just definitely got to get those reps in again.
So he's not afraid of the moment. And look, I like what the New Orleans Saints are doing. Like, even with Trevor Penny, I like what they're trying to bring to the offensive line. Because when I think about the offensive line, and I'm pretty sure you do the same thing, I feel the offensive line needs to be the meanest and nastiest individuals on the team. Like, they need to be physical. They need to be the most disrespectful, because that's how you look at offensive linemen. I mean, think about this. Think about how much you hate Ali Marpet, the offensive lineman that played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, we hated that guy. And Ryan Jensen, we hated these dudes because they give you a little extra, giving the defensive line extra, talking a bunch of noise, doing all these different things behind the referee's back. But you know what? I respect the hustle. Don't like the team, but I respect the hustle. All right. I want to see them lose, but I respect the hustle. And I think that's what was missing from the New Orleans Saints. Now, I think I was watching. No, I don't think. I know I was watching my guy, Matt Moscona. Matt Moscona had everybody's favorite Saints reporter, Jeff Duncan, on his show. And Jeff Duncan said something about Andres Pete. Now, I don't have that clip, but I just want to let you know. He basically said that, Andres Pete didn't look like the type of guy that really liked or loved football. Just seemed like he was a big guy and, big boned it. And it just okay, I can play football and I can make a bunch of money. Now, I don't agree with Jeff Duncan in this regard, because maybe the guy is big, because he is. He's about 6'6", 6'7", 330 pounds. Yes, he is a big human being. But he had to love football, or has to love football, in order for him to continue to play the game of football. I would think that eventually things would get a little bit hard and you'll be like, man, just forget this. I'd rather do something else. And not to mention, Andres Pete went to Stanford, for God's sakes. It's not like he had to play football. You go to Stanford, you automatically, get your resume sent to the Pentagon. So it's not like Andres Pete had to play football. He was just good at it. And you become good at it by continuing to work at it. So I don't agree with that. But I do agree with the fact that he felt that Andres Pete didn't really have that energy, right? That mean streak, right? I'm just on the line. I'm just going to do my job. But I think that the New Orleans Saints are doing a really good job at getting some nasty individuals, some mean, nasty individuals on this offensive line. I mean, you got Trevor Penning, who at the beginning we love because, of his mean streak and his aggression. And if you can actually translate that to the play on the field, maybe you can do that. And maybe that's what the Saints are doing by bringing in Fuaga and having him possibly play left tackle. And the question mark surrounding Ryan Ramczyk, maybe the Saints are considering moving Trevor Penning from the left side to the right side. And who knows, maybe that will help him out tremendously because now Fuaga would be responsible for going after the premier pass rusher of each respective team. Now, there's some very good defensive linemen that can switch sides and you find yourself dealing with the same issues on the right side. But let's just hope for the good in this situation if Trevor Penning was to move to right tackle. But Fuaga is ready to embrace the moment, embrace the opportunity to possibly play that. I don't feel like the Saints would put him at that position if they didn't want him to play left tackle. So you got to kind of put two and two together here because if they didn't want him to play left tackle, they didn't think about him possibly playing that position, they would have just, threw him out there and say, okay, play right side and let's get it popping. But they didn't. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Fuaga, interested to see how he is going to fare at taking some reps at the left tackle position. So that's something that is a little bit of a learning curve for Fuaga, but I think he'll rise to the occasion. You also had some of the other rookies that the Saints drafted. You had Kool-Aid McKinstry out there. Also, Bub Means connecting with Spencer Rattler, developing that relationship. Bub Means was a guy who was drafted late, a guy that, came from Louisiana Tech, transferred from Louisiana Tech, went to Pitt. And, now he's playing in the National Football League. Saints fans are looking at him. They're looking at his size, they're looking at his height, looking at his weight, saying that he kind of mirrors Michael Thomas. But he's not short of confidence. He's a player that loves football. From what I hear, the confidence level is high. And he spoke to the media a little bit about the opportunity of playing with the New Orleans Saints.
First couple days, man, it's a blessing to get this opportunity. A lot of people, you feel me, would just be ecstatic to be in this position. So it's a blessing to get this opportunity to go out there and compete with my brothers, compete with my teammates, compete with my coaches, get used to the system. It's a fun experience for sure.
So I like Bub Means, man. I think that it's going to be a little bit of a battle, but I don't think that he's out of it. I know that the Saints have Cedric Wilson and you got A.T. Perry and Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave, but if he can come in and he can take advantage of those opportunities, take advantage of the reps that are given to him, he's going to get a fair share of reps in preseason because you're not going to just throw Chris Olave out there. You're probably not going to be throwing Shaheed out there that often. You want those guys to be an integral part of what you're actually doing with the offense so he can get ample opportunities to be able to show that he belongs. I mean, I know they have Stanley, but I look at Stanley, the wide receiver that they picked up from the Cincinnati Bengals. I look at him as more of a special teams guy, a special teams ace. So I don't think that he's going to be a part of that competition. But Bub Means indeed can be. And you got to take advantage of those opportunities to come in and make some noise. I mean, just because you were drafted, in the 5th round doesn't mean that you won't play. I mean, A.T. Perry was drafted in the 6th round, and he had 4 touchdowns on the season and played quite a bit down the stretch when Michael Thomas went out. So if Bub Means can embrace the moment, develop that chemistry like he's doing right now with Spencer Rattler, maybe, he'll get through in there with Jake Hayner, Spencer Rattler once again, and also maybe even Derek Carr. Maybe they'll give him some reps there. As long as you can take advantage of that opportunity, as long as you can come in with that lunch pail mentality, I think that he'll be just fine. So I like what Bub Means brings to the table. I like the confidence level. I like the size. I think that, he will be a very talented guy if he embraces the moment. and take advantage of these reps that the Saints are going to give him during this offseason process. And finally, offensive coordinator Klint Kubiak. Now, Klint Kubiak comes over from the San Francisco 49ers. He is now the new offensive coordinator of the New Orleans Saints. And we know that the New Orleans Saints offense is going to go through a little bit of a change. I mean, for 16 years, the New Orleans Saints offense basically looked the same. It was molded in the image of Drew Brees and Sean Payton, all that West Coast type stuff, throwing the ball all over the place. The Saints decided that they wanted to do something a little different. They move on from Pete Carmichael as the offensive coordinator, and now they're embracing an innovative offense that is sweeping the NFL world, and that is the wide zone. And they are bringing in Klint Kubiak to be able to facilitate this and lead the charge putting together this new offense. Now, Klint Kubiak spoke to the media a little bit about, coming in and what he wants to bring to the New Orleans Saints offense.
This time of year, it's all teaching, installation and trying to slow it down, starting from scratch and not assuming anything, just trying to be really good at the details and just understanding, like you said, there's first-year guys, rookies, and we got 13-year veterans. So we're just going to keep it simple initially and just make sure we're as detailed.
So Klint Kubiak, to me, he's not that guy that's yelling and screaming all over the place. He seems like a very confident guy. It seems like, he's going to be more of that teacher, type coach, that tells guys what they need to do, look at what guys do best and take advantage of that. And I feel like that was something that has been missing from the New Orleans Saints for the last couple of years. Like some of the things that made Alvin special, some of the things that made Taysom special, some of the things that made some of these players offensively special, I don't feel like the Saints were doing. I just think that sometimes it felt as if the Saints were just doing things to try to win a football game. And it didn't seem like guys were having fun out there. It's like they were kind of forcing themselves to have fun. It's like they were trying to encourage their teammates to have fun. And I think that's something that the Saints need to get back to, because we all know that some of the best teams in the National Football League that come every single year they have their success because they're having fun out there. They enjoy playing for their teammates, playing for their coaches, playing for their city. Playing for their state, playing for their region. And it just seemed like things became a little bit complicated with the New Orleans Saints. And I think that Klint Kubiak could do a really, really good job at allowing these guys to do the things that they do best and also get back to having fun again, using Alvin Kamara the way that he was used when he first got into the league in 2017, showing that he is not washed like some Saints fans may think, but some of the play calling was not ideal for what he is and who he is as a running back. Also using guys like Rashid Shaheed. Every time he touches the football, magic happens. Chris Olave, when he touches the football, magic can indeed happen, especially since he took a step forward from year one, kind of struggling with contested catches, to year two, putting on a little bit more size and being able to come down with some of those 50-50 balls. And then you add A.T. Perry coming into his second year. He has that size. He has the hand, the ability, and also some of these other guys like Cedric Wilson, who has been talented in the league but always got lost in the shuffle. He can find ways to use these individuals. And not to mention Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill, who has been the Swiss Army knife with the New Orleans Saints. Some people feel like, what is Klint Kubiak going to do? He's more of a Sean Payton guy. Sean Payton kind of used Taysom Hill the way that he needed to be used. But when I look at Taysom Hill, I'm talking about like running the ball, like catching the ball out of the backfield. I can see a Deebo Samuel type dynamic. Like Deebo Samuel sometimes would line up in the backfield. Sometimes, he would carry the football and more of a wildcat type thing. Brock Purdy might throw a wide receiver screen to him. Like I can see the same thing happening with Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is hard to bring down. He's a big physical guy. He's a guy that if you put the ball in his hands and get some blockers, he'll be able to, get some extra yards. It's not going to make anybody miss, but if you put some blockers in front, he know how to read those blocks in order for him to get up the field. So I am not discouraged and worried about what the Saints can do with Taysom Hill. I think that Taysom Hill probably is going to be very, very involved in this offense. And it's a good problem to have. Like when you have a talented guy like Taysom Hill that can do a multifaceted of things, it's great. It's great. And I think that Klint Kubiak will be able to use him in a very, very good way. So this is kind of uncharted waters for some of you. Some of you never seen the Saints offense look any different. Like if you've been watching Saints football, for 16 years, that's all you knew was the Sean Payton offense. But it's something when you see something for a very, very long time and then you switch it up, you get a little bit nervous. But I'm excited that the New Orleans Saints are trying to make changes. Like I don't want it to be stagnant. I don't want it to be like, like it once was, trying to make something work that once did, but it's pretty obvious that it doesn't work anymore. Embrace denial, right? You might fall flat on your face. You might. Or you might actually fall into prosperity, which Saints fans have been hoping for the last 3 seasons. The Saints fans want to see the New Orleans Saints in the postseason. They want to see this team have success. And this is a good start by adding Klint Kubiak and that wide zone offense that has shown that it is successful. Sean McVay is running. Kyle Shanahan, of course, his father is the godfather of it, right? Mike Shanahan. So it has shown that it works. And I like the fact that the New Orleans Saints are looking to run the football this season, because to me, I feel like that is going to help them get to where they need to be. Not putting the ball into the hands of Derek Carr and allowing him to throw the ball all over the place, but putting it in the hands of the running game and allowing Derek Carr to kind of use the play action and use some of these playmakers like Olave and Shaheed to get up the field. Should be interesting this offseason. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see what this offense looks like in real time in 2024. But I would love to hear from you. What do you all think about Saints rookie camp? What do you think about Klint Kubiak? What do you all think about some of the things that are going on with the New Orleans Saints? Comment down below, like and share this video. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. You can also follow me on X at TJAY Jones 8. Subscribe to the Gumbo Pod Sports podcast, the Unapologetic podcast that's available on YouTube as well. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat? And I'm out.